Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda, let's talk about the Keith and the Girl schedule.
Yes.
What is it? Go.
Do you know it? Here's a test for Keith. You go.
Right. KeithandtheGirl.com/calendar. You can see everything we're up to. Next Saturday, March 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we have an open production meeting where you, along with Chemda and Xerxes, talk about the upcoming categories for silent trailers.
Yes, to trick you.
I try. I can't be part of these meetings, of course, because I can't know what the movies or the categories are when we do silent trailers. But I do try to sneak in. Maybe I'll wear a suit but not show you my head. You know, Keith doesn't wear a suit. He doesn't wear sleeves. Somehow they're always able to figure it out.
I want to say like one time you came in with like some monocle, like the Mr. Peanut guy or something like that. Yeah.
That was
very slick.
Yes, Bill Witherford III. And he was calling it from England, and he just wanted to, he's new to it. So he wanted to see, you know, before he talked, he wanted to hear what, anyway, they caught me like that. One time I came in and I put sheets on my TV behind me, on the guitar behind, they still figured it out. They're good. Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to get in one day. Go to KeithandtheGirl.com/tickets, get your pass into the private meeting. Okay. Also, next Saturday, March 19th. How many next Saturdays are there? March 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're preparing a video on our YouTube channel.
Premiering. So
that's right after the Silent Trailers meeting. We'll be there commenting along with the Silent Trailers game that featured Pete Holmes, Michael Ian Black, Mara Wilson, and Chris Gethard. Subscribe for free at Keith and the Girl on YouTube. March 23rd is another day. It's a live Silent Trailers game show. Watch and play along with the best game show ever made. Chemda will wow you with her lack of movie knowledge. Is that okay to say?
Yes.
While my opponents and I try to guess what the fuck she's talking about. Get tickets and details at KeithandtheGirl.com/tickets. Of course, if you have Keith and the Girl VIP, get a free ticket. Go to KeithandtheGirl.com/VIP. It's all right there. In fact, people love your lack of movie knowledge so much. Just the other day, you were raving about this new film, Donnie Brasco, and
yes.
People enjoyed that very much. So we'll make sure we'll get another movie corner section in today. All right, let me introduce to you today's guest from the podcast, Jordan Jesse Go, and the Bubble graphic novel. It's Go. How you doing?
Hey, it's me, Go.
Jordan Morris, how you doing, Jordan?
This is what Go sounds like. Go's kind of mad that you can't say anything these days, or social justice warriors will jump down your throat. Go was a bad booking. You should not have booked him.
I made a mistake. Right.
I can't even play colleges anymore.
I can't say it if it's in context, but I brought up the context.
I just want to say slurs. I love to yell them. Ooh, don't book Go. He kind of went right wing.
Jordan, you are about to turn 40 years old. I listen to your podcast and I know what's doing. Are you trepidatious about it? Are you excited about it? Is it nothing at all?
Boy, yeah, it does feel... Yeah, I'm having some feelings about it. I'll be perfectly honest.
Now that you're 40, you know some feelings, so that's good.
True. And I've been in therapy for a while, so I know how to like process those feelings. Mm-hmm. God, that's a very 40 thing. It's like, well, I've been in therapy for 10 years now, and here's what I've learned. So I
remember talking to my therapist about drinking, and and she said, "Oh, that's good. You quit. When did you first start?" And I'm like, God, you're good right away.
Yeah.
I said, how do I make sure I never want to be tempted again? And you said, let's go back to where the fuck do you learn that?
That therapist at Therapist University.
Good.
Yeah.
They are good.
That's why you get a professional. That's why you don't get a shaman. That's why you don't whisper it to crystals. I mean, you can do these. I think these things can supplement therapy, certainly, but yeah.
So what's the big issue facing a 40-year-old?
Gosh, yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, I feel like I've done a lot of like great stuff, I realized that I've achieved some of my dreams, some of my childhood dreams I have done, and it feels great. So I was kind of reflecting on that. I was kind of being kind to myself.
Now you can feel free to die. It's
yes,
perfectly okay.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? If I die, I think I've left something behind. There's still, yeah. But also, you know, in a lot of weird ways, I still just feel like a dude, you know, like I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I live alone. I drive a modest Toyota. And I was kind of thinking about like, well, like if I'm just an apartment renting, modest Toyota driving guy for the rest of my life, which I may be, the entertainment industry being what it's like, I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with it. Like if this is the height of my success, so be it. I'm lucky.
Do you care about the family stuff?
Yeah, I would like to get married and have kids. I think that would be neat. That's something that I would like for myself. But
you know what the good news about that is? That you are a dude. And as soon as you say that, you can have it.
Yeah,
I've seen it. I have actually seen it. A buddy of mine was like, you know what? I think I'm done dating. I think I'm only going to date seriously. I want to start a family. Boom, was engaged like within a year.
Yeah.
Like filter. It's everything you want. So but
go on the other hand, you can't hold this guy down. Monogamy's a trap, dude. Ooh, bad booking. Yeah, I would like all that stuff. And yeah, I know that the frustration of hearing that as a woman is probably it's probably frustrating hearing a guy goes, yeah, okay, I'm 40. I think I might think about family. Yeah, so I get it. We have privilege. It sucks for everyone.
Are you manifesting that kind of life? And what I learned, I used to think that, you know, I didn't read the book The Secret, but I understood you're praying to angels, right, this kind of thing. I didn't know manifesting meant you do it. Like somebody said, hey, you're going to come over and see me. And I went, yeah, we should figure that out. They're like, well, did you manifest it? I'm like, okay. Right. Like, well, did you get the ticket? Oh, manifest the ticket with money and buy it. And so apparently you just really do it.
Did you leave your crystals out to charge in the light of the full moon?
So today I manifested an OMAD meeting. I manifested the things we're going to talk about today. Right. I manifested a sign on my door that said, do not disturb. So are you manifesting this new lifestyle?
Before you answer, you know what's annoying about Keith is he's not wrong.
Right.
But like, it's like Keith could say, you know, wisdom of like Buddha level shit, but because of that sarcastic fucking tone in his face, he's just like, well, you just have to, you know, listen to the other person and be present. But it sounds like he's drinking a beer even though he's sober. It's so fucking weird.
When somebody else is talking, listen to them and respond accordingly. Some people don't know to do that.
Keith, can I ask you a question about stopping drinking?
Yes.
When you stopped drinking, did your sweet tooth get out of control?
Yes, I was. It was Ben and Jerry's and Keith's for a couple of years. I don't know if you saw that on the cartons. Yeah, no. You tell yourself, okay, you know what? I'm getting rid of something worse. So quite frankly, do whatever the fuck you want. And boy, man, I was buying ice cream by the cartons.
Yeah, I like cut back on my drinking pretty seriously. I still have one when I go out socially, but as far as like drinking at home, drinking on weeknights, I don't really do it anymore. And when I stopped that, my sweet tooth got so out of control for specifically ice cream and donuts. And I was never a big sweets guy, but it turns out your body wants sugar.
It does want sugar, and I didn't realize sugar was in these drinks to this level.
Yeah,
you know it's an Italian ice when I'm on my third one. I know that.
Sure.
But apparently it's evening out, so okay.
Chemda, what's your sweet tooth situation like? Do you have it? Do you not have it?
Weed. No.
Yeah. That also, let me be clear. Weed also makes sobriety easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so you're a California sober, they say.
Yes.
Okay.
My sweet tooth is not, it's more salty stuff. So I won't be able to buy potato chips. Like ice cream, I could leave in the fridge. I can have a spoonful of, and I think that's that's the hint. That's the clue to like what your addiction is. So if somebody heard me say I can have one spoon of ice cream and then put it back in the freezer and hates me. Just like if I hear somebody can have like,
I think I reacted when you said
Right?
like, oh, I can have a spoonful and put it back in the freezer. I am as mad at you as you were with me saying like, now that I'm 40, I'll start a family.
yeah, like I can't have, if somebody can have like one potato chip and go, and then just like put the rest of the
Yeah.
chips back. No, I do this thing where I try to trick myself. I take my smallest bowl and I fill up the
Mhm.
potato chips and I'm like, that's a reasonable snack. I
Yeah.
already had a meal, delish, and now I get to have it. And then I'm like, well, if that's such a small bowl, like, and I'm like a second bowl and that equals like
Yeah.
actually a regular portion that I really intend, that's when you know you have an addiction. You said you can have one beer. So maybe that's Keith's trigger and goes, oh, one beer doesn't lead to 20. You're not
Yeah.
drinking. Fuck off.
Right. One beer for what? Yummy.
Now I'm a little bit sleepy. Ooh, I love being a little sleepy and not buzzed. Not getting buzzed, but feeling a little
Oh.
gross and tired.
I'm still making all the right decisions based
Yeah.
on my actual brain.
Yeah.
Does having a landlord ever make you feel, Jordan, like you're still a kid?
Yes, it kind of does. Having a landlord that you have drama with, like a lot of my friends like own homes, in some cases multiple homes, and like I'm still like rental guy and dealing with landlord shit. And yeah, whenever I like relate landlord things to like my homeowning friends, it makes me feel like a little diaper baby who
Right.
needs his diaper changed.
Because someone can always kick you out of the house. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
your
Right.
behavior can go like, you know what? I don't like you anymore. Still love you. Goodbye.
Yeah, and I still need someone to like fix my fridge for me. Oh, if my fridge gets too hot, I need my landlord to come over and fix it for me.
I enjoy that
Um,
part, though. I tell myself that's what we pay for. So when there's a leak, I'm kind of happy.
Yeah,
I'm like, ha, you have to fix that.
yeah.
I don't pay. That's getting on
Sure.
my TV. That's your fault, too.
But
Are
you know
guys,
what?
Are you
living
guys
with-
both renters?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
living with Xerxes, we don't ever have to call the landlord because he knows how to basically fix anything. And otherwise, they would have to call like the next level person, like an
Right.
actual plumber or whatever. So I'm like, I think it's time to own a home. That's the decision making
Yeah,
that
right.
I make. I'm like, well, I don't want to call the landlord, but apparently you know how. So time to own.
Yeah, my landlord now is this very classic. I moved not too long ago. I'm still kind of like I'm still like feeling new place feelings about the place I'm in now.
How long has
In
it been?
California? Sorry,
in California. Yeah, so I'd moved from like Hollywood proper to Pasadena. So like Hollywood is Hollywood, but Pasadena is kind of like suburban. There's a lot of like historic homes and like all of
Is
the
that
rest.
like from, and I don't know if you know the reference, Queens to Long Island?
Ooh, yeah. I'm like, what from the Sopranos will help me contextualize
Right.
this? I know it's not more New Jersey. I think so. I think that sounds about right. Like
Okay.
in Pasadena, there are no cool restaurants.
Okay, because I was gonna say I'm sorry for your loss, and it turns out I'm right.
Yeah. The vibe of every restaurant is mom's birthday, like where you get a big iced tea, maybe you get like a red martini, Chinese chicken salad. That is every restaurant. Every restaurant. But I like
Every
it.
restaurant when you come in and ask for a seat, they give you that thing that lights and vibrates when your seat is ready.
Yeah, basically. But I like it. I kind of like the slower pace. I like the, it's there's a lot of parking, blah blah, California guy. But my landlord is this very like classic landlord dude. His name is Neil. He is like an old man who always wears a fishing hat, and like
Oh, wow.
he will stop me if he sees me like by the garage and have like a long conversation that he doesn't know how to end. Like I can
Right.
like he'll like we around Christmas he was like, how's your year been? How was your year? And
Oh, that's a whole year.
yeah,
Jeez.
I know. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Neil. Well,
His
in
therapist-
January,
Your therapist asked the people around you to ask. He
Right.
has to express himself.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
He goes through the list of the trouble in the Ukraine. Okay, do you get it? It's been a fucking year.
Yeah. Wow, Neil, you wrote an entire "We Didn't Start the Fire" parody. Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was talking to him at Christmas, he was like, I'm like, yeah, it has been a good year, all things considered. And, I did well and I stayed employed. And he's like, okay, well, that's good. That's good. And we're just standing there. And he's like, well, yes, I always love to hear when things are going well for my tenants and local merchants. I'm like, local merchants, Neil.
We're friends.
Yes. And just the other day we had this little, like, not a scuffle, but I have I rent a garage from them too, so I have like a little space in a garage. And when I got in there was someone had put a couch in my space, and I texted Neil. I'm like, oh, there's this couch in my space. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I put that there. And then he explains to me the Pasadena policies on throwing out a couch and why he had to put it in there that day. And I'm like, all right, man, just move the couch. And then I'm like, okay, well, you're going to move. And he says like, okay, I'm going to move it. And he's like, well, thank you. I realize that, and I like having you as a tenant, and I appreciate your, sense of balance and other fine qualities. I'm like, Jesus, man, can we just move the couch? Anyway, my landlord appreciates my sense of balance.
Right. In New York, we would have rented out that couch.
Yeah. $1,200 a month.
Right.
That's funny. We used to have, for the Keith and the Girl studio, we would have a super who would stop me. I had to like sneak out. There are different doors to get out of the building, because if he caught me and he's in the mood, he would just talk, and it's very difficult to understand him. He hardly speaks English, and he's telling me about back home, how it was, and over here, and then stuff I'm not really sure. And I ask him to repeat it, and that's moot. And so it's like your boss trapping you in a conversation. Like, I'm not allowed to leave here. I need to be dismissed because you're the super. And when I call you, I want you to want to come to my place. That's
right.
Annoying.
Yeah. Like, if you like me more, will you unclog my toilet faster?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
My landlord sometimes stays. There's like an area downstairs from me, but however it's set up, I can hear him right through the wall when he stays here. Like, he obviously has a house somewhere else, but he stays here sometimes. So he'll try to talk to me, and I'll be like, oh, sorry, I'm in a big hurry. But then he hears me playing a video game.
I'm really in a hurry to beat Resident Evil 8. I have
and he
to.
hears me call somebody. Hey, how you been? Like, you're starting with how you been? I thought it was a hurry. Interesting.
Keith,
so busy over there.
Keith, I see a little VR rig behind you.
Yes, I was playing VR earlier. And do you like it? Have you tried it out?
I've tried it, and while I am impressed at the leaps and bounds it has made since
bless your heart.
Since the Nintendo Virtual Boy, it kind of makes me a little nauseous, feels a little weird, and I never feel that the games are that fun. I'm like, this is very cool tech, but I don't know that this game is great. Anyway,
I said the game I played, it's made by Vertigo Games. I'm like, oh, that's clever. Like, you vomit. Yeah. That's a clever title for a business.
I use a recording. I use a recording software called Hindenburg, and I'm like, fucking yeah. So you name your software after a thing that crashed. It's very weird. Just
did you join the gold Titanic level, or did you just?
Yeah. Yes, I joined the the Humanity VIP program.
I was playing it, and you're on a team of 4, and you're killing zombies. That's fun. The game didn't give you a good tutorial, and I have to figure out as we're fighting how to reload my guns, and whatever I'm pressing that makes sense to me, you would press, it drops my guns on the ground. And so I'm like, hold on, guys, to drop my guns on the ground. 11-year-olds like, why would you drop your fucking guns? First of all, asshole. I'm the only one here that's militarily trained.
Thank you.
I could tell already. They never told us how to.
You've never been in the shit, 11-year-old. You don't know what it's like.
You don't know. Not in my foxhole.
You weren't there. The drill instructors didn't say, hey, listen, sometimes you're going to need to just throw your guns on the ground. Let's practice. No, I wouldn't even know how to do that if the time came up.
Why is there a button in the game that throws the guns on the ground?
No reason. But they're
Just
making
to
it
fuck
like
with
it's
you.
my fault and the VR didn't make a mistake. No, it's the
Right.
programmers, not the military guy.
No.
God damn. Anyway, the kid beat the dragon for me, so
Oh, good.
it worked out.
Yeah, I'm playing a game right now that has that option to like summon someone to help you, and yeah, I'm letting a lot of 11-year-olds beat shit for me. It's very rewarding. It's like having your super unclog your toilet for you.
Right.
I say
This
this
is what I
all the
pay for.
time when this comes up. I don't understand why 11-year-olds have access to you people. Like I don't understand why every system that can go online doesn't separate 18. When we go to clubs, we get separated. You have to show ID. Why is this allowed? You shouldn't even be able to play video games with a child.
I
I
was
agree,
playing with
except when I need them.
right. I was playing with my brother, and I'm like, all right, guys, let's go kill these fucking zombies. And then later on in the game, this 11-year-old is like, oh, you're asking where I am? I'm in your mom's room right now. And then later, my brother goes, man, you come in there hot, cursing and stuff. I'm like, he said, do you know what he's saying about my mom? He's implying he had sex with your mom as well.
Our mom.
And he goes, well, you started with the, hey, let's go kill fucking people. I'm like, what does that have to do with each other, A? And B, obviously the mom's room thing was in him. I didn't bring it out of nowhere by saying, let's kill fucking zombies.
And now you're having this argument.
Yeah.
I didn't influence the 11-year-old. He influenced me. He started it. Mom, are you really here?
And then I said, seriously, though, what do you think your mom is doing right now? So I wonder if that caused a real problem.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
And that's why I check in now and again with BetterHelp. Speaking about therapy. BetterHelp online therapy. I love it. Hemda uses it as well. She's a big fan. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. It's the online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions. I like the phone. I like the pace with your therapist. If you don't have a camera on, don't have a camera on. They can't make you.
I like to have it on because I like to think in front of them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes. It's important they know when you yawn.
Yes. All the indicators should be there. And if you see something on my face, say something.
Yes.
You know?
It's much
Can't
more
hide anything.
It's even more affordable than in-person therapy, which because it's so convenient, I would think the opposite, but it's not. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy.
And let me tell you something. You are not the only person in the world. All of a sudden, you are the person who doesn't need therapy. I don't think that person exists. So it's not you.
I'd like to say you need it by name. The following people need it. BetterHelp.
That last episode was 9 hours long. Just a bunch of names.
BetterHelp.com/KTG. That's what you do. Get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp.com/KATG. You'll enjoy it. I can promise you that. We are celebrating, of course, 17 years of podcasting.
We
just had our anniversary the beginning of this week. And I have some letters from people if I may read them with you. All right. I'll read them. You listen. That's how we'll do this together.
And
do we remark on them or just?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You read them, Keith, and Go, you respond.
Yes. Okay. Let's hear what Go has to say.
Okay. All right. Let's hear what these fucking.
Tori says, so I started listening back around episode 300. We're at about 3,500 now. I think the episode was called Paper Towel Ninja.
This is so funny that you bring this up. I was just thinking about this because of my movie corner. Okay, keep going.
This was when we were convinced.
We don't have to shush. Okay,
that somebody was breaking into our house, and so we're upstairs in our bedroom, and we know people are in it. We just know it, and so we called the police. But eventually, we have to answer the police's door. Like eventually, we're gonna have to go down and see who's in our house. So Henda grabbed a paper towel roll It didn't even have the substance of the paper towels. It was just an empty roll that was somehow in our bedroom.
Yeah, that's a little weird that there was just that piece of trash. But I mean, was the logic that we need something that might look like a weapon in the dark?
This is so sweet. You will get married. That you think that there came any logic from that. I think I just panicked. And maybe because I saw the shape it was in, I was like,
right.
We get a shape that works and then worry about the rest later. I don't know.
Right. You had to go for set. It's better than nothing, right?
Probably maybe not. He has a knife and I hold it with 2 hands and it's in the middle and I block the knife. I don't know.
Anyway, nobody was in our house, it turns out. So who knows?
Just nothing. Just straight up. Not there's the
straight up nothing.
Pipes or something.
I don't know what we heard, but it was very clear. But it wasn't there. Excuse me. I was
they
a
probably
dumbass.
Were in the house, but then they saw the paper towel roll. And
yes.
Get the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was a dumbass. I don't want to get brawnied.
I was a dumbass freshman we had the Wimpy brand. I was a dumbass freshman in high school back then and came from a super conservative family that limited my interactions with the world. So naturally, I identified with Keith's stories about him and his father. I remember having the show as my own little secret, my own secret rebellion while being a confused, hormone-filled, homeschooled teenager. Ooh, homeschooled.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I love this.
I honestly credit you guys for helping me become the person I am today.
That's not our problem.
I'm now 30. I'm 30 years old. I moved away from my repressive parents. I'm openly gay, and I've been living with my boyfriend for 8 years.
Congratulations. That's a long relationship.
Yeah,
Jordan can't do that.
I know. He got me beat. But this guy owns a home too.
I picture my dad hearing this and be like, he's making people gay.
Yay, I wish we could make people gay.
We should have a how to be gay tutorial where you just walk them through the steps. Step 1.
Well, I haven't always been the most avid listener. Well, fuck you.
Is this one of the I haven't listened in a while?
I haven't always been the most avid listener throughout the years due to life issues. I always find myself returning. I credit you guys with helping me grow past the small world view I was forced to grow up in. L'chaim Tori.
Tori, the prodigal son returns.
I will say that I about our podcast, you sometimes kind of hear stuff like this. And the one thing that I always, and we love the fans. We love them. You love to hear stuff like this. But sometimes I want to scream when people are like, the show's my secret. I'm like, no, tell people. Right. Tell people to listen. Right. Don't make it a secret show. Make it something you tell people about. And you say it's good and they should listen too. And
sometimes they send letters in a whisper, all lowercase. They're like, that was very funny. Come on.
No one can know. I don't want anyone to know. It's my shame.
Well, don't tell your parents until you have enough money to move out. If we don't want to get you in trouble.
Sure.
Here's one from Joe in Japan. And he has a picture, and I believe it. I believe he's in Japan. Somebody's wearing one of those Japan hats.
It's a cute little shirt.
Congratulations on 17 years. I've been a listener since the day before Keith went into the hospital for his liver troubles. That's what I call it. The way Ireland calls it, the troubles. I call
troubles.
I had the troubles.
Someone threw a Molotov cocktail at your liver.
I heard you on What the Fuck with Mark Maron, decided to give you a try and have been hooked since. I became a VIP member soon after. Thanks not only for the hours upon hours of entertainment, but for the things you guys have taught me. Keith, I think of you every morning. My wife used to always ask me to squeegee the shower floor. And I thought, that's stupid. It's made of plastic and there is a big drain on the floor. After listening to Keith's marriage problems, I gladly spend the extra 5 to 10 seconds. He's alluding to, I got mad that my wife wouldn't close cabinet doors. I took it personal. Mm-hmm. Once my wife even came in when I was doing it and drip. Good for you. Good for you.
I'm not kidding. I'm getting goosebumps because I do think that, instead of fighting with your person, you can do that 5 seconds of action and your whole life changes. Do it. Holy shit.
I had to use the squeegee twice that morning. Oh my goodness. You know what he's saying? Hello?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you see. The people who don't understand about the kitchen cabinets are doomed to failure in their relationships. And Hamda, you have helped my interaction with women. You've taught me that when a woman smiles at me, she's just being friendly. Your description of how a man and a woman see a subway car differently really opened my eyes.
No way. Whenever a woman smiles at me, she wants to go to Pound Town. Don't book go. Bad booking.
And then a bunch of squiggly letters, which I'm going to have to assume is a compliment. P.S. Here's a picture of us cycling in Kyoto. And again, there's bikes and I believe them. So thank you. That was fantastic. Here's one more.
Show the picture again. And also we're going to put that picture at keithandthegirl.com. If you have the app, it's in there as well. All right. Thank you.
I started listening, says Liz, to Keith and the Girl back in 2011. I just moved back home to North Carolina from a failed year in California. I was living at home with my religious parents. That's the worst. When you're an adult and you have to go back, yeah. I was in the Army and then I moved back to my parents until, a month or whatever to get out. That is rough. That is rough. I just moved back.
How old were you?
22, 23.
Okay. That's not like super, but I can see why
it does. Once it's over 18, once you were half an adult, which I was at 18, I moved out, and then you got to go back for whatever reason.
Did you try and were you trying to date while that was going on? Did you have to explain, no. I live with my parents?
No. Okay. Please. No. I was living back. What? No.
Don't even try.
I was living back home with my very religious parents, recovering from a breakup and working a shit job that required no thought. It was all so bleak. My coworkers were also bored and turned me on to podcasts to pass the time. One of them told me about Keith and the Girls. She said, quote, "It's not exactly safe for work, but it's very entertaining." Over the next few years, I went through almost all of the back catalog and have listened daily since then. I wish I remembered her name because I owe her a huge debt of gratitude. Thanks for the literally thousands and thousands of hours of entertainment. No matter if I'm going through a breakup, enduring my parents, struggling with a newborn, a divorce, a pandemic, or several miserable jobs, Keith and the Girl has been a constant in my life for over a decade. There have been so many stories from guests and Keith and Kendra alike I can relate to and have helped me realize I'm not alone in those struggles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But really on Wednesday nights, I'll still try to take your poker chips. Congrats on 17 years, Liz.
It's Liz. Oh, I know that. Liz, I call her Lemon. Thank you. And she does take my money in poker on Wednesday nights, but she is, what a person. Love you.
What a dream. What a dream. Do you like cool people, Jordan?
No.
All right. Well, that won't work.
No. Sorry. Dorks only. No, cool people are great.
It's their thing. If they want to be cool, cool people.
Yeah, cool people. For it. Have fun.
Let me tell you about
tip your shades, skateboard down the street, roll up a pack of cigarettes in your sleeve.
Okay, 90s.
I don't think
70s. How far did we go back?
Oh, I just the whole span of coolness crammed into one person.
Decade after decade of cool. Yeah.
Let me tell you guys again about stamps.com. Okay, because I mentioned it the other day. Some people don't understand how good it is, and they seem to be confused by what I was trying to sell them. Okay, stamps.com is how you print postage at a discount from your own house. You have a scale, plugs right into the computer, put your package on it, it knows exactly what it's doing, right?
Can you be renting, Keith? Can you
You could be a renter. Yeah, it's nothing to do. You just you have a scale, you have your computer, done. Scale was free, by the way.
This sounds like elite shit to have a scale.
This is it feels that way. It feels like
you don't need to show them the deed to a home to get this service.
You don't have to show the computer your ID every time you walk into your house. You don't have to worry if it's raining. But also keep in mind that we're not disparaging the post office when we mention stamps.com because they work together. So I want to tell you that the post office equally perfection. Maybe you're in a mood to get a discount on stamps, which is money, if you ask me. Print out your packages, send it right out of your home, this kind of thing. Or maybe you want to go to the post office in person and stand in line and wonder if you'll get stabbed and then get to the front and maybe not have the right idea. No, Henda's right to make that face. That's psychopathic behavior. But anyway, whatever your path is, both are available. In this instance, I'm going to talk more about stamps.com because we've all been to the post office and we know how awesome it is, which is fucking pretty awesome. right? A little small talk. Who doesn't like that?
grab a greeting card while you're there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, do you have boxes for this? No. Okay. Stop. Now here's what throws me. It says read this, it's mandatory. Stop overpaying for shipping with stamps.com. Okay, but maybe you wanna. But if you don't wanna, stamps.com is the way to go. Sign up with promo code KATG. The special offer at stamps.com includes a 4-week trial, free postage, a digital scale, no long-term commitments or contracts. Okay, just go to stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code KATG. And you have to do it or we're going to get in big trouble for this ad, okay? So make sure you do it. That always relaxes them, these people. Okay, thank you. Big news, Jussie Smollett. The gentleman who said I was 2 people with MAGA hats, pissed on me, kicked me, beat me up, and said, this is MAGA country. Yeah, F word for homosexual. And then people said, something about your story, we don't believe you. And he says, it's true. You know me from a popular TV show, so why wouldn't you from Empire? And so I'm a good guy. And they're like, the story still sounds weird. Then we find out the 2 people that supposedly beat him up. He hired them, and they have the check with his signature to prove it. They also have him pointing at cameras in the street, going, "Watch out for that camera! Watch out for that camera!" God. They got this guy.
When you think about that, a weird part of the story that maybe suggests that it was fake was that in his scenario, these hateful MAGA guys watched Empire.
Right.
Like they knew him from I don't know that any MAGA person has ever watched Empire. These are Yellowstone people.
Right. As they beat me up, they say, I do respect your work though.
Right. Love what you're doing. That season finale, pins and needles.
So here's the thing. Yeah. He's an actor. He's not a writer. So he didn't know how to put this whole bullshit story together, right? Anyway, he's been sentenced for 150 days in jail. So that's, but he'll do half that. So that'll be 75 days. He'll be in jail for 2.5 months is what it sounds like. 5 counts of felony for disorderly conduct for lying to police and will serve half of that time, so 2.5 months. He's been told to pay $120,000 in restitution to the city of Chicago and a fine of $25,000. Seems a little extra.
Can I say? I think this match is okay. The punishment fits the crime. 2.5 months. I think that's a lesson in jail. That's a long time, and you're not trying to hurt anybody physically. So you're not really a threat in that way. And maybe now you feel dumb enough and you paid back for, the work that you took from people by calling 911 and getting people to do all the work that they didn't need to do. So I don't know. Seems okay. What do you guys think?
He's still not admitting it, to be clear.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, him.
It seems like maybe the punishment is that will be very hard for this guy to work in showbiz in the future, I would imagine. So I don't know where he goes from here, but although maybe not, maybe he's a comeback story. Maybe people will like that part of it.
Nah, I think he's got reality shows at most. Okay. He's also a Black actor, which means that's even more limited, and people are mad at him for faking it. And since his job is to fake it and he didn't fake it well, that's bad.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And reflects on his acting.
Yeah. And you embarrass the Hollywood political left. It is a real thing. And they couldn't get on Twitter fast enough and made them look like assholes. Mm-hmm. You're out with that. If you're on the team that Go is on, yeah, you have a chance to come back. But our side is a little too nitpicky. You can't
cancel me. I'm playing Austin, Texas. 7 nights a week. After the verdict for Louis C.K. at Shithead Fest.
After the verdict was read, Smollett stood and yelled that if anything happened to him in jail, it was the responsibility of the judge who sentenced him. He yelled, "If anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself, and you must all know that," he yelled in the court.
Whoa.
Oh, he thinks someone's going to kill him.
That's what he's saying. Yeah. Or rape or anything. And the judge is like, is something going to happen, Jesse? You know, no, but that'd be funny. Jesse, is something going to, we know you just made something up. Now you're implying that we don't even know if we're going to hear a true story about you in jail.
No, I actually think he thinks someone is going to kill him because he's staying with the story that people are after him. He's staying with that story. He's saying, if something happens to me, I didn't do it to myself.
Right.
I got killed and they said it was suicide. I think it's very specific.
I follow, but he's a liar too. So he wants us to feel bad for him, and he might make up that something happened to him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll kill himself. No joke. If he realizes his career is over, maybe he will kill himself so that we all feel bad that he was killed in jail from something innocent the whole time. That would not surprise me. I do think his career is over.
Yep.
He was led out of the court, then raised his fist in a Black Power salute and yelled, "I am not suicidal. I am innocent."
Oh my gosh.
It sounds like a lot of lead up to another fucking trick. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh my God. That's really scary. I mean, I think.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I think that shouldn't the court recognize that you should look into this person's psychology, like into their mind, how adamant they were, how this is kind of a crazy crime. And now it's tough to
diagnose these actors, you know?
Yeah, it does seem like perhaps, I don't know what population he's in. I don't know about the tiers of the prison system, but yeah, hopefully he's getting watched and perhaps some mental health help. That would be great.
That's not happening.
No,
that doesn't happen for anybody. Yeah. It's a horrible system and people look away on purpose. So I don't know. I think the only way that he's going to be okay is because he might have actual fans and he's not, I don't know. He's just like not a threat really. So maybe people will leave him alone. It's 2.5 months. I don't know if he's in like a hardened place.
Right.
Is he in like sort of a,
he's in the MAGA wing. So that's not gonna.
Hopefully, everything's okay. He gets the help he needs. Gets out. In
Bless. And I hope the family's
gets out
okay.
in a few months, and then, in a few months, we're all asking him to be on his podcast. Spotify original.
A Capitol rioter who warned his kids he'd shoot them if they turned him in, only to have his 18-year-old son drop the dime on him, became the first protester convicted at that January 6th insurrection.
You know what? Your kids never liked you because my father and I, we haven't even spoken in years. But if I was a kid and he said, "Don't say this," he wouldn't have to threaten my life. I'm not saying this. Why do I need to rat you out?
Guy Rafit, 49 years old. He's a member of the far-right Texas 3 Percenters militia group, was found guilty on all 5 counts of felony charges, including bringing a gun onto the Capitol grounds. Can't do that. And obstructing a official proceeding. You can't do that. It's funny. It's funny when they grab everything they could. And you were very rude. We were having a meeting.
Right. You were intrusive and spoke out of line.
Yes, you are. You're going to jail on 3 counts of not keeping your voice down, not speaking with your inside voice.
Right. He faces 20 years, but who knows? Prosecutors said that Rafit recruited others to join him and the white supremacist crew to travel to the nation's capital, telling the group, quote, "The fuel is set," and quote, "We will strike the match in D.C." He was wearing body armor, carrying handguns, flexi cuffs, radios. He had a megaphone.
If this was my dad, maybe I would tell on him. He sounds so dangerous that he's actually threatening his son to kill him.
Right. He had a megaphone, also had a helmet with a camera on it. That's how they're catching a lot of these people from their own diaries.
It's so they're so dumb. It's such a bunch of dumbasses. I have a pitch for the January 6th movie.
Yes.
Okay. They say Adam McKay is going to make one. All right, whatever.
Okay.
Christopher Guest needs to make it. Christopher Guest needs to make the January 6th movie, and it has to be all the cast members, like Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, all need to play MAGA weirdos. I think that's the way to do it.
Like the gang who couldn't shoot straight.
Yeah, totally.
I see that. He was specifically targeting Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. At one point, Rafit's camera recorded him saying, quote, "We're taking the Capitol before the day is over."
Oh my God.
It's all on tape. He led other rioters to the Capitol doors, but didn't make it inside himself. Of course not. I said I wasn't leaving until I was in there. I didn't make it in there, but I started the fire.
Oh my God. So much stuff to get
Said
him
it all.
on.
He's like, oh, it was all metaphors. I was metaphorically saying that through a grassroots political organization.
What does he think he's singing a song and the lyrics are just that?
Yeah.
I hope like the FBI was there giving away free disposable cameras. Like, collect memories, guys.
Like at a hipster wedding.
Yeah.
And
Everybody has a disposable camera on their table.
Leave
And
your
then-
address, write your address on the back of the camera, drop it in the box.
Yeah.
We'll print
we'll
them
see
for
you
you
real
for free.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would love to see. I that's so funny that his kid turned him in. I am just imagining like an 18-year-old skinny Hot Topic gothy looking kid who's like, fuck my dad. I really hope that's the kid.
It was he went on the news also, the kid. It was my moral compass kind of to do what I thought would protect not only my
Wow.
family but my dad himself. That relationship's over.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Good for him. That fucking rules.
It wasn't just because I think my dad is aggressive. I think that he's been manipulated into thinking he's aggressive. Let me tell you something. He's aggressive. Okay, your dad's aggressive. Whatever the fuck you just said.
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So far, more than 775 people have been arrested nationwide for their alleged roles in the January 6th attack, including 245 charged with assault or impeding law enforcement. More than 220 rioters have pleaded guilty, with 100 sentenced so far and at least 90 awaiting trial.
But this guy now, he just turned 18 and this is what he's Googleable for. So he's
Yeah,
looking for a job
right.
and somebody Googles him, which, you know, you're sort of like a tattletale, but like depending on what side you're on, you know, he's not going to get any Republican job. So
Yeah.
if he does live in Texas, maybe hopefully he lives in Austin.
What can he can also say it's not him. We're 775 people have been arrested nationwide. There's probably a Keith Malley on there. Let's go. It's not me.
There's certainly some guys who look like Keith Valley.
Right. That's true. That's true. They say God doesn't give you more than you can handle, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Keith, I think everybody there on January 6th looks like if you and me got into a matter transporter accident.
Yes. Yes. The human fly. And
Mm-hmm.
here in New York, a man was hit in the head with a hammer after he bumped into someone in the Manhattan subway station Tuesday night. Dude, you've been in big cities, obviously, Jordan. If somebody bumps you, do you start a problem or do you thank them? Because honestly, those are the only two choices.
Yeah.
I say thank you for that.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little contact, a little human contact, to feel touch, to feel skin. It creates endorphins. We need it. We need touch.
The victim was left hospitalized after the violent attack. How aren't you dead after getting hit in the head with a hammer more than once?
Yeah,
An argument broke out between the victim. Oh, I see this in the city all the time. What do you do? Watch where you're going. I'm like, how are you? You both are about to be dead, probably.
Sure.
Excuse you.
Who,
That line.
who just is carrying a hammer too? That's terrifying. Thinking that someone has a concealed hammer on them. That's like, in a weird way, scarier than a gun. Like someone who's like, I want to hammer someone. I mean, I guess maybe it's part of their job and it's in their,
But
toolbox or something.
People
but-
get real surprised in New York City. They forget that they're in a pinball game.
yeah.
And they bump and it shocked them. It blew their mind. They think I woke them up and pissed on their face. And you just you see why people snap. It's like, hey, what's your problem? You're like, pen in your eye.
Yeah.
What? Oh, there's a pen in your eye. You asked what's my problem, and now there's a pen in your eye. You did that.
Yeah.
All right. Explain that to your wife. No, I go, I'm sorry when I get bumped. They go, I'll kill you. I go, no, thank you. But thank you. Let's see. Argument broke out. The attacker then pulled out a hammer and struck the man who was taken to Bellevue Hospital. The suspect fled. They still don't know where he is. Okay.
They're not going to find him either.
No, they're not going to find him.
No. How would you find that person?
He knows to get a new hammer. You're not finding this guy.
Yeah. That hammer's long gone.
I saw a here's a picture I'll put up. It's a guy on a subway, laying down on the subway, pissing off the
Wow.
side.
Oh, I see. Ew,
Isn't that
he's
amazing?
No,
he's-
and the caption is "Public Enemy #1 for peeing." That's that the New York Post. That's got to be the New York Post.
That is
right?
the New York Post. That's correct.
They have a style. They have a distinct
Yeah.
style. You know,
It's somebody's job, no joke. Like you don't make your own headline for your own story. Somebody else
Really?
makes the pun headlines. Yeah.
it's it's like Bruce Valanche or something like
Right.
that. Just a classic Hollywood gag writer.
so he's actually in a subway car laying down, which you can't really
On
lay
his-
down. But
Kind of on his on his side, but more so on his back even.
I'm surprised, and maybe
That's
there's
extreme.
a little. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they've digitally altered that a little bit, but like whoever the photographer was just captured the stream of
Right.
urine
Yeah.
perfectly. It's arcing so beautifully.
Yeah.
Right. It's a rainbow-esque
Yes, it's
stream.
glinting off the light. It's just a beautiful stream. If
See,
I didn't
this-
know that was urine, I would.
In some ways, this guy's really healthy.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear. He clearly drinks lots of water.
So
I had a kidney stone kind of young, and since then I have been kind of like obsessed with like always having clear urine.
did you have to
because
pass it through your penis?
I did have to pass it through my little pee hole.
Oh, tell us about it.
I was in my kind of mid 20s. I was traveling from work. I was in where were we? It was like like somewhere I had never been before, like Connecticut or something like that. I had a job where I had to like travel to a lot of places.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I just had to go to like an emergency room in Connecticut and like pass the kidney stone. And yeah, I think what the doctor said
Did you know it was already in there?
No, I think when it started happening, I think I had had kidney scones described. Kidney scones. That's what you get in England. Kidney scones. They
They're
call them.
dry, they're hard.
Yeah. So I had kidney stones described to me. So I felt like I knew. I'm like, I think this is what's happening. This pain is for some reason I had it described to me. So I think
And
I think I'm
that
passing a
same
kidney
day,
stone.
you had to pass it.
I
Now, what
did,
does
yes.
that mean? That
So
the next time you pee, it's coming out, or you're hoping the next time it pees, you're coming out?
I think so. I was pretty doped up. They really doped me
Okay.
up. And I think I would just periodically get up to pee. And they didn't like save it for me or anything. I think some people save their kidney stones.
I would.
Like
Yeah.
a paperweight.
Yeah, I kind of like wish I had it on a little.
I would put it in a
mantle.
snow globe.
Mm.
like Citizen Kane.
I'd
Oh.
eat it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Well,
just pass it
Keith-
through the other. Pass it through the other side.
Yeah.
Now it comes out of my butt. It's on
So
a little journey throughout my body.
So because you were sedated, did you feel it much or?
Yeah, so once I was sedated, it was not as painful, but it was pretty painful until they administered the juice, the good stuff. I don't know exactly what
Did
it
you
was.
scream when it was coming out? Did you look at it as it was coming out?
Boy, I wish I had better memories of the actual
Who
passing
doesn't
of it.
remember
I
this?
know. Yeah, but
Do you recall something hard coming out of your penis?
I will keep going back to the fact that I was so fucked up, just fucked
Okay.
up out of my mind
Okay.
on whatever they give you. So yeah, I don't remember the exact moment when the stone plinked against the porcelain,
Okay.
but
How big was it? Do you know that?
I think
Did
it was
they tell
not
you?
that big. I think they said that it was a smaller one. So I think if you have a big boy, they like break it up with sound waves or something like that. And they said that because it was a smaller stone, it could just come out the pee hole. And that's what
Do
we
some
did.
sound waves anyway.
Yeah, give me some waves.
Make it pebbles. Why do I
Sure.
need what? Give me sound waves.
Yeah,
Oh
just
my
hold a little
God.
speaker up to my to my penis and
Yes.
play some corn. Get it out of there with some new metal.
Let
so
the
yeah,
bodies hit the. That's not corn, but I feel like
yeah, same shit.
let,
Whatever.
let the rock hit the porcelain.
Yes. So after that, kind of what the doctor said was like, oh, this is from a lifetime of tons of soda and no water. And he's like,
You
you always
hear that, Hydration Nation? We
you
have a
must
Hydration
hydrate,
Nation.
You must. So ever since then, I make sure that my urine is clear, and this man on the subway seems to be doing a great job with that. No kidney stones for him.
He can be an inspiration in that regard.
Exactly. Many
I would-
regards.
It's
But if you live in
actually
New
a
York,
political
by-
statement saying like, where are the bathrooms in New York?
Great question.
You know,
Great
Apparently,
question.
they're on my shoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is perfect time to tell you about Rothy's shoes that you could
Nice.
just throw in the. Are you kidding me? What?
you could just throw them in the wash.
Yeah.
I already had a pair, but I just bought 2 more pairs. So I'm really glad you brought this up. Look at this one. We're gonna put it at the Keith and the Girl website and on the
Looking
app.
good.
But this is a slip-on. It's blue and white. What? I gotta run to the store, but I don't want to look like, I just got out of bed. Boom. I feel like these are slippers, but they're shoes I can go out in public with. And
Yeah.
you're not going to believe this. Okay. A lot of people will cream their pants right now.
Mhm.
Mary Jane's.
Oh, my
Red
pants.
Mary
Oh,
Jane's.
shit.
So cute.
Kyle's gonna
and
be upset, but
comfortable. Look at that. So adorable. I have to post pictures of this. I just got it in the mail today. So very exciting.
yeah, you just throw them right in the all washer. They come out the brand spanking new. That's amazing. Get both style and comfort this spring with Rothy's. Plus, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/Keith. Keith. They know I love them so much. rothys.com/Keith. Okay. You're welcome. By the way, this guy pissing on the subway, somebody did go to an MTA booth worker. Can you imagine having the fucking time? You should know that there is a urinator. Oh, fascinating stuff. I'll get right on it. You fucking dork. This guy notified an MTA.
Oh, I'm afraid of a little peel. I don't like
I mean,
pee.
the cops will find it. A worker will find it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
and I would like the city to be better in a way that. Well, guess what? Nobody paid attention to him. No shit.
Wow, Keith, is this where bullying got to?
I went. You know what? Just how this person better be brand new to New York, though. There were things I didn't know. I remember. I was dating somebody. Actually stepped on their shoe. Their shoe went in the tracks. Now you gotta debate. Do I jump in the tracks? There's a family happens to be close to me watching. I kind of don't want to encourage that for the kids. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go to the MTA worker. Okay, what do you want me to do? I go, okay, goodbye. They're like, well, don't go in yourself. And I go, oh, okay, I won't. I jumped the turnstile, went in myself, got it. Like, what? Yeah, there's a guy pissing. Welcome to Hollywood. Good God. Good God. Can we get to movie corner, please?
Please. I have
Please.
been watching movies. Got into the Bourne series. I
Oh,
almost want to say
yeah.
trilogy, but I know there's more and it's crazy.
Mhm.
And boy, I totally get why people have been talking about this.
They're great.
Okay. You know the movie The Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to argue that these are better fight scenes. Well, no,
Huh?
these are better fight moves.
Okay.
The fighting scenes, did it not blow your mind? Now, when you got to the third one, which we're almost done with, we got to the third one, the camera got a little more shaky in that one.
They're
And the
shaky
fighting
movies.
sheets were a
They're
little-
shaky movies,
Come on,
and they're definitely
little
at the height of the shaky action scene. They maybe even invented the shaky action scene.
Oh, I hope not, because I really like them. Yeah. This Bourne guy, and we brought up the paper towels. He took a magazine and beat someone the fuck up with that. So I'm
it
not
can happen.
that far off, people.
in that first movie, one of the early scenes when he just sits down on a bench and the cops wherever he's at start accosting him, and he
Yes.
starts fighting them, and there's this look on his face like, why can I do this? It's one of
Yes.
the greatest scenes. It's one of the greatest character moments. I love it. Yeah, those movies, shakiness aside, I think are pretty terrific.
Thank you. Now, here is what I thought about the so the first one had a love interest. Now there's gonna be some spoilers, guys, but you've had a little bit of a chance. I'm sorry.
You had a couple decades of a chance.
movies.
So the first one had a love interest, and I'm like, this love interest has nothing to do with anything. In fact, all of his training, even though he has amnesia, all of his training is kicking in. He knows how many people are outside. He knows the license plates that are, he's clocking everything. except he doesn't know not to tell a random woman that he just met all of the information that he knows. So everything but that
Right.
kicks in.
He's a
And
super
I'm-
spy, but he still wants to get laid, baby.
Yeah. There's
He
always
wants
time
to
for
go to
sex.
Pound Town.
It was so awkward and weird. I'm like, do we have to have this line of thought like at all? And it was a waste of time, but it doesn't matter now. The second one I started watching, I'm like, oh, they're still together, of course. And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna get rid of her in this one because you can't have the same love interest for like such a debonair, like, you know, this kind of guy. And also for Hollywood, 3 years have passed since she was like the main love interest. She's old. She's dead. I know she's dead. And then in like the next scene or something.
Well, and we need to motivate the hero. And what better way to motivate our hero than to kill a woman?
Yeah, but you can't.
That's the only reason men do anything is when.
But I said this to Xerxes, he's like, while we're watching, I'm like, oh, she's fucking dead because Hollywood, no more. I mean, she's still hot, of course, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Right.
And then it happens and he's like, but you're saying things like that. I'm like, I'm not saying it. I'm saying I was right to think like they did. And I knew she was going to die. So, you know, for somebody not seeing a lot of movies, if I see it coming, that's not good.
But you loved it.
I loved it. I loved it.
This is some review. I understood if I should go to the post office or not more than I understand if this was a good movie or a bad movie.
This guy, the not Leonardo DiCaprio guy, you know,
Matt Damon.
It was on Leonardo DiCaprio level acting. It was so good.
Oh, wow.
I honestly, those two are interchangeable. And now they're proving it with all of their movies. Literally, you can hire one for the other. So congratulations to what's his face, the Apples guy. What's his name again?
Matt Damon.
Matt
The
Damon.
Apples guy.
Very
we
good.
We know who you're talking about. Just call him Little Apples.
I got 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, 93% from the audience as opposed to critics.
Mm-hmm.
It's
People
so
like that first
good.
one.
Yeah. And I'm not an actions movie, but you know what I realized? I'm not there was no, in regular action movies, there's this thing that I really hate. And there was none of that in this. There was no yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. There was no right before I'm about to shoot things, I have to say something snarky, like I'm getting too old for this shit. There was no like, always bet on black. Like you're busy. There's, like,
you don't
so
want
many-
awesome lines like the ones you just mentioned?
No,
That's a
there's-
fucking rule. You remember them.
I don't want to because there's so many people shooting at you. It just gives me anxiety. Stop being cute and just get out of this situation. Always bet on black. That's not even realistic, like fucking advice for a roulette wheel. It makes no sense.
There's
and it's not. Yeah.
Speaking of Wesley Snipes one-liners, have you seen the Blade movies?
No, should I?
I love the Blade movies. I think I think they're great. They're gonna reboot them, of course, but like Wesley will always be Blade.
Is this going to be the Blade in the new one?
Right.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna add a the. Yeah, that's how you do it. Into the Bladeverse. So he in the first one, after he kills the main vampire Deacon Frost, he says, "Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill." It rules. Doesn't make a ton of sense. There's been no ice skating in the movie up till then. But it just fucking rules so hard. Anyway, I love a one-liner. So
I wonder if that was improvised because, like, I don't know who's writing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, right. Something Wesley. He's like, all right, Wesley wants to say this ice skating thing.
He'll even
Gotta
take
let
less of
him.
a paycheck if we let him say this dumb shit. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Go is gonna love that line.
Yeah. The fucking Blade movies rule. Yeah.
Now I know that I'm wrong because you know, like things like Die Hard and all that stuff, like they're blockbuster movies. People wait, they call it Christmas movies for fuck's sake. And there's like explosions left and right. I don't know why that's so family friendly. So I get it, but I think I like action movies that are not cute like that. And then
I think that's part of why the Bourne movies were so big is because they were a little more grounded, a little more real world. So I think that's probably why we all took note, is because it did seem like kind of a different new thing at the time.
Well, I'm in that world now. Here we go. I got 2.5 more, I think, right? Seems like they switch actors, which I'm going to have a problem
There's a Jeremy Renner Bourne movie,
with.
which
No, you can't tell me. No spoilers.
Oh.
Can I tell you something funny,
there's
Jordan? Let me
Okay.
tell you something funny
Yeah.
about Jeremy Renner. I think it was the Born Supremacy.
Mhm.
No, the second one is the Born Supremacy. That's what
Okay.
was confusing. Thank you. Oh my God, I know too much. Silent Trailers is going to be crazy.
The Born Ultimatum, perhaps. Regardless, Kenda
No,
saw
that was
this
the
movie.
third one. But
Kenda
okay.
saw this movie in the movie
Mhm.
theater, the one with Jeremy Renner. That's my point.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, I knew
And-
I saw maybe
yeah.
one of them.
And you went on
I
Comedy
like
Film
it.
Nerds and you discussed it and you hated it.
I thought he's like in the middle of nowhere in snow and he gets activated or something.
That sounds
There's
right,
A drone. He makes a drone shoot a fox at some
That's what
point.
I saw.
He make anyway.
Okay.
So maybe you just
well,
like Matt Damon in these, you know.
he's excellent.
Although maybe if you decide to rewatch the Renner one, maybe because you know about its connection to the larger
Maybe.
world, maybe there's a piece of the puzzle that.
I don't think
Yeah.
Kenda was watching the Renner movie and going, where did he come from? What is he alluding to?
Right.
Well, you
What's
might have caught me up
Treadstone?
too. Yeah. Maybe I will like it a little bit more because I have the context more well-rounded. Let's find out.
Okay. Do you email like the director of The Born Identity and go, hey, I know it's 20 years later. I just want to say great movie. And
If I
I'm
had
pleased
his
as
email?
punch. Mhm.
Yeah, if I had his email. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
know, in school, we read books that are over 20 years old. Why are they so fucking good?
Thank you.
Agreed.
How old is Shakespeare? His movies are still coming out.
Yeah. It's another fucking reboot, huh? Another fucking Shakespeare reboot.
Right.
Everything's a reboot. Oh, another Macbeth.
Oh, I think I could wait to see fucking another Macbeth for 20 years. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of movies. I have
Yeah.
Netflix. And not to brag, I also have HBO, but we share that with my brother. But don't tell anyone. He shares my Netflix. Okay, listen.
I share my HBO with my sister.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Brings us closer together.
I give
I
my
also
brother
saw-
everything. First of all, I give my brother everything.
Of course.
He has all my accounts. So I'm not so maybe once in a while I'll yell at an 11-year-old and you mind your business. How about that? Thank you. What else did you see?
I also saw The Gift, which is on Netflix.
Oh God, what a piece of shit.
Really? It was so suspenseful.
Is this the
You kn-
one with? Is this with Joel Edgerton and he kind of like terrorizes that
No.
family through?
I'm going to say Jason
Oh, yeah.
Bateman.
Jason Bateman and this other guy that terrorizes.
Is
But,
the other guy famous? Because I've never seen him before.
I
But
think
Jason-
we're talking about the same movie, and I think that I remember liking it.
Joe Edgerton is in it, yeah. And him and Jason Bateman went to like school together or something. And you
Yes.
could tell Jason Bateman did something horrible to him, but
Mhm.
you don't know what it is. And I'm just like, tell me.
No.
You're
of
gonna tell
course.
me. So tell me.
Of course, but the way they told you was so good. Like for a second, didn't you think he was a pedophile? For a second, because his wife sure did. Maybe you remember that moment. Were you even paying attention? Were you in the kitchen or something when it was
Let me
on?
tell you. Well, I will tell you what I was doing 7 years ago. I can't say that I remember Henda. The poor Henda. When she sees a movie, people don't know what the fuck she's talking about. And then she brings up something subtle. Like, remember that look at the kitchen table?
Remember when they ate corn? No, not a part of the movie.
But it was, I feel like we were all going there with her. Like, okay, which one's my husband here? Like, what's he doing? And I thought his high school behavior that they kept referring to
Yep.
was a decent margin of bad. Like, he didn't turn out to be like the molester or a killer or something. He was a bully. So there was like sort of a gray, like, how bad is he? Is that a reflection of what he is now? Like, there was a lot of suspense in that. I see your blank faces. I enjoyed it.
I also have I like vaguely have positive feelings about this movie too, despite not really remembering what happens in it.
Well, it's one of those movies like you can't just kind of listen and half watch. There are a lot of parts where they're showing you stuff and
Sure.
emotions in people's faces, and it was good. Suspense. I'm not usually into suspense. I'm usually like, just tell me I hate this. I'm on edge, and I'm like having anxiety about it. But it was all of that and the bag of chips, so that's good. Yeah.
Okay,
The ending,
well,
I want a sequel, because although the ending was like jaw dropping, it still I needed the next scene, but I know that like it was a decent place to end. And yes,
I can't-
Keith, this is a good review. Yes.
yeah, I can't wait until Henda sees like good shit. Like, this is gonna blow your mind, Kenda.
I saw Ghost. I'm
Ghost
seeing
was
good
good.
shit.
Ghost was good. That was last week, though. That's the thing. Let me mention this. If you liked any of the segments on the show today, you can now clip them out. What do I mean by that? I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'll tell you. Take whatever section you want with the clip button on our YouTube page. You want to nominate someone for a CACA award? Clip it. Want to share a funny minute or 4? Clip it. You want to cut out me saying hot soup? Clip it. It's all right there, and it's pretty cool technology. I enjoy it. All right.
Can you look at the camera and say hot soup?
Hot soup.
Thank you.
That'd be a good GIF.
It would.
It's like when someone online like has a hot take,
Yeah.
when someone's like, I think the Jeremy Renner movie was the best Bourne movie. Hot soup.
Yeah. I don't know
Be
why
useful.
I can't challenge the government on January 6th. Hot soup. They work for me. Hot soup.
I should be able to yell slurs at college kids. Hot soup.
I pay Nancy Pelosi's bills. Hot soup.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Here's what you want to do. You want to download the podcast, Jordan Jesse Go.
Yep.
Jordan's fantastic. We, of course, know his buddy, Jesse Thorne. Go is a real piece of shit, but together there's a chemistry.
There's a salty sweet thing going on there.
And the Bubble graphic novel, remind me the story, please.
Yes, it is a sci-fi comedy graphic novel based on the Sci-Fi Comedy Podcast. I co-wrote it with Sarah Morgan. There's the art by Tony Cliff, colors by Natalie Reese. Geniuses, both of them. And it's kind of like a kind of dystopian comedy set in a kind of near future where everybody lives in bubble cities and they have to fight monsters as part of a kind of a Hunger Games gig economy. And our heroes are some kind of like hapless dorks in their 20s, just kind of fighting to survive, fighting to make rent.
Mhm.
And they have to kill monsters, robots. They happen upon a government conspiracy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is exactly what our audience has been asking for. I interviewed every single one of them,
Mhm.
and
Oh my
this is
gosh.
the shit.
This is
Yes,
it? Oh, thank you
all
for
of
doing this
it.
great market research for me.
Thank you for being here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do they
you-
curse? Do they curse in the story?
There's swears, so it's not.
Good.
There's sex jokes. There's drug jokes.
Right.
So not for kids, but if you are, if you're of age, it's a wonderful graphic novel experience, I think. And you can get that wherever you get your books.
And if you're a kid, think like, are you one of the smart kids that can handle it?
Yeah,
And
if you're like
that's-
mature, if you're like a
Right.
mature high schooler, and you know,
Well, just like they had to, keep our show a secret when they were teenagers. This is
Yeah.
this is a good secret to keep.
hide it from mom, put it under the mattress, but tell all your friends.
Can you imagine? This is what I'm trying to explain to my brother. We're killing zombies, and some of these zombies are the size of houses, but we probably wouldn't be cursing if that was happening. He keeps telling me I got how to properly immerse myself into the story. I'm like, I think that I would be cursing that. You ever see Star Wars? Yeah, I'm like, why isn't everybody just running around going fuck, 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 fuck,
After they jump to light speed, they're like, fuck.
right? No, that's not realistic. Of
Keith,
course, you need a
it's-
little cursing.
No, instead of cursing, you should say stuff like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
And that's, like, just
I
as
got a bad
good.
feeling about this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I would do if I was on a toilet and there was a bomb strapped to me. And if I get up, I die. I go, hey, caramba.
See how it feels? See how it
Mondays,
feels?
huh?
Right. No, they would tell me, they'd be like, if there's you're actually sitting on the toilet, you activated a bomb. I'd be like, hot soup.
Hot, hot soup.